Very good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, Rajesh.
Thank you very much. And my screen is sharing now. Can you please confirm? Is my screen is visible?
It is still starting to share content. It's not started.
Okay.
Yeah, screen is visible.
So today we are going to start VPC creation step by step. Okay. So uh, after the class, taking the real-time scenarios, it's very difficult. Okay. So that's why directly in explaining of VPC, I'm explaining the real-time environment infrastructure and preparing the project as well. Okay. So and uh, and a small announcement. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I may not available. So some personal works and so whatever the work I'm giving today, and I'll give you the notes. Okay, and record, and everybody you should complete that. So the topic of today, we are going to create a custom VPC and the two networks we are creating. One is the public network and private network, and we are segregating in two-tier architecture of project. It's very most important project in entire AWS course. So if you are building this network going forward, many services will be depending on this structure only. So definitely to set up this lab for you at least more than 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So you need to follow the step by step and you have to configure it. Definitely it will take more than 1.5 hours. So at least 2 to 3 times you need to build this configuration tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So you can utilize this time. Okay. And without any doubts by Friday. So we need to configure some advanced settings in this network. Okay. So in case of any doubts, you can watch the video multiple times and you can follow the instruction sheet and you can create it. Okay. It's a very easy steps. Okay. I'm explaining. Okay. Please follow here. So simultaneously, I'm preparing the architecture diagram as well. Hmm. So in real-time environment, so we have applications, right? See here, see this diagram. In real-time environment, this is a web page. The user will be accessing the application from the browser or installed any application on the device. They will get open and connecting the application and the content will be accessing from the user device. But actually, the application is hosted on the server. Okay, so this is called web server, and nowadays we call it as application server. Either this application server or web server, which is running on VM, virtual machine, either instance, either physical machines, whatever it is, this server will be taking a responsibility to answer the user request. But the web content will be not running on the particular server. It maintains the separate database and the web server will be connecting back to the database server and fetching the information and displaying here. Understood. Example, we have a website called Swiggy. Okay. So all the request of page information will be getting from the database server only. If database server is offline, the information cannot be viewed on the web page. Maybe web page will work. Okay. But whatever the content will be placing in the web server that we cannot view. So this is a front end and this is a back end. So in this environment, so application server will be in a front end network, that is a public network, and a database server should be configured in the back end network, that is a private network. So in real-time environment, in AWS by using the VPC, how you are segregating in single VPC subnets are public subnet and private subnet, how the front end server will be communicating to the back end server, okay, how the front end server will be connecting to the back end server, and how can you run the application, okay, and how can you provide the 100% security in the back end server, that's a private server, we should not connect from outside directly. So this all scenario we can satisfy once you configure the a proper networking channel. So first of all, we are going to create a VPC. We are going to create a VPC in North Virginia. We are going to create a VPC in North Virginia. That's a step number one. Okay, that is a step number one. Custom VPC creation. Okay, with the real-time setup. Okay, step number one. Create a custom VPC in North Virginia. Okay, create a custom VPC in North Virginia. So currently I'm in North Virginia. Okay, I'm going to create VPC. So right domain EC2, let me create a duplicate tab and click on services, networking, VPC. So now this is a new window. Okay, new window. If you are checking any videos, okay, in YouTube, okay, mostly the old view will be there. This is a new view. Okay, and not only you can select from the North Virginia, there's an option called EC2 Global View also is there. EC2 Global View. We have a global view is available. In the global view, in each region, how many instances are running, how many VPCs are there, how many subnets are available, and security groups, volumes, auto scaling. In one window, we can watch. So as of now, 31 launched region is available, but in my account, 27 regions only activated. So I'm not activating all the regions not required for me. Okay. See, this will be fetching the information from all the regions and it will give you the completely the providing the information. Okay. Mostly whatever the region is available in the green state, okay, green state, opt-in not required. So mostly 1 VPC is available. 1 VPC available. This is a default VPC. And now in Mumbai region, two instances are running. Two instances are running. So let's go here and where is the North Virginia? Here is a North Virginia. Only one instance is currently running. That means created and only one default VPC is there. Six subnets are there. Six subnets means six data centers are available. Okay, six data centers are available. That is called availability zones. Availability zones. Each availability zone, one subnet is there. Okay, and one default security group is there. This is a default information is available. I'm going to use a default information and creating custom VPC. See here in the filter how many VPCs you created. You can easily select the filter and only we can view the complete information. This is one of the best view to watch your the complete VPC information. Previously this option is not available. Okay, the recently in this view they have enabled it. Okay, they have enabled it. So here you can directly create a VPC and even you can create a EC2 instances also. EC2 instances also you can create it. You can create it. Any other question? Now I'm going to create a new VPC. So your VPCs you can select that. So this is a VPC is that by default the VPC name is default VPC. Better you can name it. Okay, default VPC, default VPC. You can name it like this. So so we can easily understand this is a VPC is created by Amazon. So if you need any custom VPC, you can create like this. So now what we need to do in the right top corner, click create a VPC and you can select the VPC settings and you can provide it. So in the VPC area, two important things we need to provide. One is a VPC name and VPC range. VPC name and VPC range. So here two options are there, VPC only, VPC and more. So first I will give the VPC, then next step like that I'll go so that everybody can easily understand, okay, how we need to create the VPC. So the VPC name, okay, the VPC name, example, this is a North Virginia, right? NV, North Virginia VPC, North Virginia VPC, okay, NV VPC. That's the name I'm creating it. Next, what is the IP version 4 range we need to provide? As we discussed yesterday, we need to provide the range. Okay, provide the range. Whenever you provide the range, the IP address, okay, the IP address, you should provide the least range, okay, least range you can provide. In that, we can create a multiple subnets. Example 192.168.0.0 slash 16 if I provided slash 16 if I provided. So do you know what is the range of IP address? Anybody can tell me? Hmm?
Oh,
If you're providing the 192.168.0.0 slash 16, okay, what is the starting IP address? 192.168.0.1 and ending with
oh,
192.168 dot. So 16 means 8 plus 8. Okay. So the 2 octets are resolved. So remaining 2 octets only, it will participating in the host bit. So 255.254. So how many IP address it will get generated? That you can check in the IP subnet calculator. So class C, if I'm giving the subnet mask is a slash 16, one minute. I think this is taking a default values. So 192.168.0.0, if I click calculate, how many address will generate? 65,534 IP address will generate it. What is the starting IP address? 192.168.0.12, 192.168.255.254. This is a range we will get. So in this range, and how many IP address will generate? 65,534 IP address will generate. That's the meaning of it. So now, if I'm giving this 192.168.0.0/16 means 65,534 IP address can generate it. So that's it. So now I created IP address. Now created a IP address with this range, and a VPC has been created. If you click your VPC, and NVVPC is created successfully with this range. So now let me update this, the VPC name and all. VPC name NVVPC CADR, that is IP address range is class center domain routing. Okay, 192.168.0.02/16. This is the range we provided. This is the range we provided. Any other question? So in this particular range, we need to segregate. We need to segregate as per requirement, public subnet and private subnet. So first, public subnet is required. Public subnet. So for public subnet, web server will be running. Private subnet, database will be running. So creating a public subnet. Creating a public subnet. So public subnet we need to create. How to create this public subnet? Hmm? Listen carefully. Go to subnets in the left side. Okay. So previously 6 subnets are available. Okay. You can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 subnets are there. All these 6 subnets are belongs to the default VPC. You can see here default VPC. Now we are going to create a custom subnet in which VPC? NV VPC. This subnet is a public subnet. This subnet is a public subnet. What we need to create? NV North Virginia public subnet. This is a name I'm providing. NV public subnet. In which availability zone I need to create? So we have a 6 data centers are there. A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 availability zones are there. 6 data centers. This particular subnet where you are creating, I'm creating in availability zone A. Okay, availability zone A. And now we need to provide the block. We need to provide the block. So let's understand this concept. NV VPC range is very broad range. Yes or no? NV VPC is a very broad range. What is a broad range? 192.168.0.0/16. That means what is the starting IP address? What is the starting IP address? 192.168.0.1 to the last address. The last address is 192.168.255.254. Am I correct? Please tell me.
Yeah, Rajesh. Yeah.
This is a starting address. Okay. This is ending address. Huh? This is a starting address and this is ending address. So what we called as starting and ending, this is called range. Huh? This is called range. So here 192.168.0.1, 192.168.0.2. So it will go like this, right? Yes or no? 192.160 168.0.2, 192.168.0.3. It will go right. Huh?
Yes.
Up to it will, where it will go? Huh? It will go up to 192.168.0.254,
So,
192.168.0.255. What is the next one? 192.168.1.0. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Yeah, Rajesh. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after that 192.168.1.1, 192.168 dot, okay, 1.2, okay. So this will up to, it will go like this, okay. Huh? It will go like this. Hmm? And here it will give like this 192.168.1.254, 192.168.1.255. So like this, so 192.168.2.0. Yes or no? Huh? 192.168.2.0. 3.0. Huh? So it will go like this. It's not getting the serial. So up to it will go like this: 192.168.10.0, huh? 11.0, huh? I'm not writing all the numbers because of it's very difficult to write all the numbers. Hmm? 192.168.20.0, huh? So it will go up to 192.168.254.0, 192.168.255.0. So up to this range it will go. Okay, this is a starting range and ending range. So total number of IP addresses are 65,534 IP address will generate it. So it's a very broad range. It's a very broad range. Okay, it's a very broad range. Suppose example, you can understand. So NVVPC is a father and a mother. Okay, parents. NVVPC is a father and mother. Okay, father and mother, parents. So they have a two kids. They have a two kids. One is a public and one is a private. So what they will do, parents. So this is the actually the assets of the family. Okay, the assets of the family. Example, this is actually field, cultivation field. So if one son is asking, I need some place to cultivate to survey himself. So his name is his name is what? NV NV public subnet. His name is NV public subnet. So this guy was assigned to, the parents is assigned to, hey brother, hey son, you can take this range. So NV public subnet range, you can take it. Okay, NV public subnet, you can take it. So what is your range is in this total value, this is your range. You can take it. And same way, hey, private son, so you can take this. Hmm? So 192.168.20.0/24. So why we are providing /24? Any reason?
Next, after 16 bytes, next is 24. So it has to be a
Exactly.
key.
So the entire the assets is not given for single son, right? So only small quantity. Yes or no? So they given this particular range. They're given this much of range. Suppose if you're giving /24 with this range in this total subnet, how many IP address can generate by this particular public subnet? 254 IP address. This one, he also can generate 254. So now coming back here, we're giving the range public subnet. The name is, okay, the name is NV public subnet The CADR range is 192.168.10.0/24. This is a range they provided. So that means the whatever the total range is available in this range is assigned to one sun. This range is assigned to one sun. Okay. So sun means here you can take it as a small network. Okay. So in this range, how many IP addresses we can generate? From the total number of value, only 254 address we can generate. So how you can create 192.168.10.0/24. So this is the NV public subnet. Create a subnet. Successfully created. Successfully created. And same way, so second step, create a public subnet in. See here, create a custom VPC. What is a VPC name? NV VPC in Northwest India. So create a public subnet. What is a public subnet? Northwest India public subnet in where? NV VPC. So it's successfully done. Next step, same step, private subnet. Private subnet in, okay, private subnet in NV VPC. How to create? Go here, create a subnet, NV VPC, NV VPC, the name, NV private subnet availability zone A. CADR block is 192.168.20.0/24. Now create a subnet. So now, so private subnet we are creating. What is the name? NV PRI subnet CADR 192.168.20.0/24. This is a range. So here 254 address. This is separate network. This is separate network. This is separate network. This is separate network. Are you clear?
Yes, Rajesh, one question. So both private and public subnet should be in the one availability zone?
Actually, I created both subnets in one availability zone.
Correct. So you should create the same way, or we can choose a different availability zone also.
Your wish.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm following that real-time architecture.
Okay.
Example, availability zone means data center, that you know, right? Availability zone means data center.
Correct.
In North Virginia, 6 data centers are there. So that means 6 data center means one data center will be connecting to other data center. The distance is 100 miles. 100 miles. One data center will be connecting to another data center 100 miles. So in this case, All 6 data centers, they're following the same structure. 80 to 100 miles minimum, the distance they'll maintain. So (128 kilometers). Okay. So the front end server, back end server, if you're keeping that into different availability zone in the region, it will have a good communication, or maybe any kind of latency will be there. If you are
Latency
creating,
will be there. A little bit.
so if you're creating the public subnet in one availability zone, private subnet in another availability zone, if you maintain, okay, you have a latency between the application server to backend database server. That is not a good configuration. Okay, so users will face any some kind of slowness. So that's why we are preparing this architecture in real-time model, all the configuration in single availability zone. Maybe I can configure the second set of servers in maybe another availability zone based on the high availability configuration. Right now I'm configuring the main setup in the a single availability zone. Okay.
Thank you.
Rajesh, small
Yeah.
note.
Yes, please.
So we created this 192.168.20 series, this subnet. Just this is our internal purpose, right? Private network. We cannot expose this one, right? Generally. So generally we
Exactly.
use this for internal connectivity when we have the private IPs.
Yes. So
So,
whatever the configuration here, the internal,
hmm,
okay, this is internal purpose only, not for external. Okay. So, but the networks are separatedly, okay,
yeah,
this is for
separately.
public
That is
network
10
and this
series.
is
This
the
is
private
20
subnet.
series.
Yeah.
So just we are splitting this main network into subnet,
Two
multiple subnets, right?
multiple sub, multiple
Okay.
subnets is it's needed because of to segregate the different networks.
Domains, different domains
Not
to
domain,
some.
maybe domains later. So, but
Hmm.
networks will be separated. Example, you're working in a single project. One
Yeah, yeah, application to
project
application. Yes, yes, I understood. Hmm.
like example, database services will be in one network, and the testing servers will be one network. Development servers will be one network. So, like that, we will be segregating. Okay. Maybe any new project in the same project, sub project, we will creating a separate network without disturbing the existing network. We will be creating like that.
I'm aware. Just to here, I got
No
the little
problem. No
confusion.
problem. So if you're asking the question,
But
that's a
I
valid
mean,
only.
this is
At
our
least
only naming convention, right? This private
naming
and public.
convention. Yes, naming conventions. This is a real-time concept only. Okay. Maybe
Understood.
in
Exactly.
this
Because
batch,
we have the
maybe
different
we have a
applications.
uh,
Yes, yes. We first initial project will be reserved some IPs. Then they will divide, split into multiple subnets. Then we will name it as a domains, right? Later. That is next up, I think so.
exactly, exactly,
Okay, thank you.
right. So as per our requirement, okay. So public subnet and private subnet is configured. Hmm? But in which public subnet, okay, in which public subnet we need to provide internet connection? Which subnet we need to provide internet connection? Any idea? Public subnet we need to provide internet connection, or private subnet we need to provide internet connection? Public subnet, right? So if you want to provide the first public subnet, whatever the VPC is there, first VPC you should connect to internet connection. Understand? So VPC is a parent. VPC is a parent. So VPC have some communicating to internet connection. So right now, this new VPC, by default, we don't have a internet connection. So go to the next step, step number 4. Create internet gateway and attached to North Virginia VPC, attached to North Virginia VPC. Clear? How to create? Let me show you. Go to internet gateways. This is a default internet gateway. You should not touch that. So default IGW. IGW means internet gateway. Create an internet gateway, North Virginia IGW created. So internet gateway successfully created. Internet gateway is nothing but is internet connection. Okay. So if your internet connection is ready, it will not connect directly. So first you have to select and attach to your VPC. So attach to VPC, select NVVPC. So guys, one internet gateway we can assign to only one VPC. We should not assign more than one internet gateway to single VPC. Only one internet gateway to only one VPC. Attach internet gateway. So let's go to the diagram. This is the internet gateway. NV IGW. I connected to VPC. Done. So next step, we need to create a routing table. We need to create a routing table for public subnet separate, private subnet separate. We need to maintain. How to create a routing table? That's a very important. Okay. So routing table we need to create. Step number 5. Create public routing table and associate Okay, so I'll split into multiple steps so that you can easily understand. So first you have to create a public routing table. So now I'm going to the routing table section. This is a routing table is already there. Two routing tables are there. One routing table is for NVVPC, another one is a default VPC. You should not touch this and create a routing table. Routing table name you need to provide. North Virginia public RT. Public RT means routing table. Routing table. And where we need to create in NVVPC and create it. So now this particular routing table I need to create inside the VPC. Suppose this is a routing table I created. So what is the routing table name? North Virginia public routing table. Okay. This is a routing table I created. So for understanding purpose, I'll make it a green. This box, I'll make it as a green. The next step is we need to add this particular subnet to the routing table. Okay. So go here. Step number 6. Add which subnet? Public subnet. What is a public subnet? NV public subnet to, okay, public routing table. What is a public routing table? What is a public routing table?
And
NV hyphen public
or
RT.
hyphen
RT.
So here I'm mentioning that we need to mention it. How we need to select? Go here. This is a public routing table. Here is our association, subnet association. Click here. Edit association. So no one is selected. Which subnet we need to select? Public subnet. Okay. And save association. So that means what? In the diagram, we need to connect like this. So that's it. Successfully completed this task. So this instance, we need internet connection. Yes or no? These subnets, we need internet connection.
yes.
Yes. Next step. Step number 7. Add a internet gateway. What is internet gateway? NV IGW. So that means here I need to mention create internet gateway NV hyphen IGW. Okay. So here I need to mention this point. Add internet gateway to public routing table. How we need to do this? See here, select the same routing table. Here option called routes, edit routes. So only local route is there. You can see this. So 192.168.0.0 is a public IP address or private IP address? It's a public IP address or private IP address, 192.168.
So private.
Private. So I'm going to add a public route through internet gateway. So the gateway is 0.0.0.0. What is meaning of 0.0? Public route. Public route through internet gateway. Internet gateway. So once again, I'm showing you add route. See internet gateway NVIGW. The route is the network route is 0.0.0. This is internet gateway. Any network we can communicate. That's the meaning. Save the changes. Perfectly, the internet gateway is assigned to public routing table. So that means this particular routing table, the internet gateway is connected. Internet gateway is connected. Are you clear?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. What is the next step? What is the next step? I need to create a routing table for private subnet also. So next step is step number 8. Create a private routing table. This is a name. Shall we create now? Go here, create a routing table, nv hyphen pri private rt, which VPC within the VPC. So now create it. So successfully created. Successfully created. So what is the next step? What is the next step? Step number 9. Step number,
Associate,
sorry?
Private subnet.
associate that.
The private subnet should be associated to the private routing table. Okay. So add private subnet. What is a private subnet? This is a private subnet to private
Table.
routing table. What is the name?
NV
NV
hyphen PRI hyphen.
PRI hyphen RT. So names are very, very important. Okay. Why I'm writing these names now? It's very, very important. So go here, same way like this. I need to create here. So then I need to attach to here. So that's it. So go to the routing table, subnet association, edit subnet association, private subnet I need to select, save it. So my job is successfully done. My job is successfully done. So any step is pending now. And maybe you're thinking you need to connect this internet gateway to this routing table. We should not connect. Why? This is a private. We should not provide internet connection. If your internet connection is provided, even this is also become as a public. No security. No security. So now you can create a web server here. You can create a database server here. That's it. Your job is over. So I'm giving the task. I'm not presenting now. So because of you already attended my sessions. Okay. I'm going to create a 3 additional tasks. Let's see how many people will create or not. So step number 10, create a Windows 2016 instance. Create Windows 2016 instance in NV public subnet. Okay. So the instance name is, okay, W16 public. The instance name is W16 public. And step number 11, create Windows 2016 instance W16 DB database server in NV-PRI subnet, private subnet. So these two steps you need to complete. And final 12th step is, okay, try to RDP of both Windows 2016 servers from your system. Guys, these 3 steps are homework. So these all 9 steps you need to complete, then additional 3 steps you need to do it. Okay, so this is a work for you tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So please complete this work. Let's see how many people will complete this. Understand? So before ending the session, any question now? So IP address, everything you can give the same name. Don't change it. Okay. Networks names, routing table names, instance names. Don't change anything. Even IP addresses also. Huh? So then only you will be able to create a properly. So based on your practicing the network, then only you can get an idea. Huh? Just follow my instructions. Any more questions?
No.
No? Right. Whoever not attended EC2 class, don't create. Don't create step number 10, 11, and 12. Whoever already attended Amazon EC2 classes, you can create. But anyhow, I'll be explaining after 2 days. That means Friday, I'll explain the 10, 11, 12. Don't worry about that. At least you need to complete 1 to 9. And who attended already EC2 class, you can complete all the 12 steps. Thank you.